He said you straight focus, do whatever treatment or anything you needed to do.
IV.
Get right, IV, get right back out on the field.
Yeah, so I cramped up the first few games when I played like 90-plus plays. And I started cramping, and I couldn't make it through the game. I'm like, okay, how do we prevent this? Started doing IVs at halftime. Oh, wow. And that became the ritual. IVs at halftime. I started playing 100 plays, 120 plays. Wow. It was just, I never came out the field, returning kicks, doing everything. Wow, and, you know, I just had the coaching staff that really let me do what I wanted to do.
And believed in you.
And believed in me. And I just showed up and did the job.
What's the most snaps that not only that you played, but that most college players play? I think Travis Hunter is somewhere up in, I think I saw he was somewhere up in like 150 is the most that he's played.
That's probably right.
So
I really don't.
Most athletes who play both sides of the ball, is that like the norm?
Who's playing both sides of the ball?
Not a whole lot. I mean,
it's only
Travis
that
Hunter, only a Champ Bailey. It's only a few of y'all. But the ones that do, that play 100 and some snaps, like how crazy is that to play that amount?
It's crazy because you would typically average between 50 and 70. Like that's typical offense defense depending on the floor of the game. Mm-hmm. But you know, if you're playing both ways, I mean, you think about what he's doing. He's full time. He's their number one receiver and their number one corner.
Yeah,
this dude is the real deal. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I hope he don't play receiver because now you're a
corner.
Yeah, man. That's a dependent position. You don't want to play receiver full time.
So speaking of that, right? So you were a receiver, and that's my next question actually. Do you feel like you could have been a first-round pick as a receiver?
I think so. You know, funny, Terry Robisky, one of my coaches, receiver coach at Washington when I got there, he told me, yeah, man, I was looking at you at receiver, but, you know, I didn't have any say as far as what you could play or what you would play. But fortunate enough for me, my rookie year, I had a few plays. Then my next year, I had a few plays with North Turner. Then he gets fired. Terry Robisky takes over. Oh, shoot, I was like basically full-time offense at that point.
You played full-time?
A little bit towards the end of the year, but towards the end of my second year. But we were pretty much fighting for playoff spots.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't more NFL players play both ways out of fear of injury?
You know how hard that is?
I'm asking. Hard, I don't know how hard. That's what I'm asking.
Yes. So that was one of the things that Marty Schottenheimer, when he became our head coach my third year, he was very adamant about not letting that happen because I was so valuable at corner. He said, if I let you play receiver and you lose one iota of production on defense, you're never doing it again.
Wow.
He was that strict. And I didn't play, I might have played 2 or 3 snaps that year. You know, I wasn't really fighting for it at that time. But, you know, fortunate enough for me, I was good enough at corner. It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Good. You was great. Did you ever catch a receiving touchdown in the NFL?
Catch one? No. I ran one. I had a running back. That was Terry Robisky year. I tossed sweet.
Shout out to Terry
Robisky. Hey, man, that's my guy, man.
Yeah, well, you know, Terry Robisky, of course, he was here for a while as the receivers coach with the Falcons.
Yep.
Roddy White, whenever I've heard them talk, I've never met any of those guys. Yeah. I've never met Terry Robisky, but I've heard Roddy speak highly of him, Harry Douglas speak highly of him, and Julio Jones. Julio don't say much. Yeah. But some of the times that I have heard Julio speak on him has all been high, and then always speaking him up as well.
Yeah, any player that's played for him speaks highly of him. I mean, I think there was something, he went to LSU as a running back, played for the Raiders, so he just knows what it is to be a player. And, you know, he's one of us, man. Yeah, he's one of us.
He just gets it.
Yeah, he gets it, bro.
Man, to go back to UGA, 1998, best defensive player in the college football. Am I correct? Did you win the Nagurski Award?
I did win the Nagurski Award, yeah. I didn't win the Thorpe.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, how was it getting the Nagurski Award?
Hold on, you feel a certain way about not winning the Thorpe?
Hell yeah,
bro. Who got it over you?
Well, my boy Antoine Winfield won it.
Okay.
And you know, it was just weird that year because he didn't have any picks, but he had a lot of tackles. Yeah. I really didn't understand it, but because I did everything. So I'm like, okay, I had 3-4 picks, pick for a touchdown, all these things happened. So it's like, how do I not win it? And, you know, I think Chris McAllister was the other finalist. We both just looked at each other because he played both ways too a little bit. You know, he played a little bit both ways. So it's just one of those things. But, you know, I did get the Nagurski, All-American, all this good stuff. So no hard feelings. That's my guy, though. Winfield was
I mean, look, I used to have him in, I used to pick him a lot in fantasy football because he used to get a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Always, man.
You can't get by him. You can't get by him.
He used to get a whole lot.
He's one of the best
man.
tackling corners I've ever seen.
So let me ask you this: when you went to Denver, right? I know this because I played football in Denver. Mile High, the air is really thin.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that when you got there, or did you kind of like experience it, or like what was your feeling on that? Because when I had exercise induced asthma, and up there it just made it really like hard to breathe, and I was like, woof.
Yeah, I got all the warnings before I got there.
So was it
cold?
Was it worse than you thought?
Look, worse, I would say yes.
Oh man! So
now
it's a big advantage when y'all play a team.
Yeah.
They come up. I know they be winded. I know.
Absolutely, and that's why you want to start fast on like hurry up offense.
Yeah.
You want to just get people winded early, and it affects your whole game.
Yeah.
Like it just. So before I got there, yeah, they told me about the air, the cold, all this stuff, but. The thing that you get used to it after about 3 weeks. What you don't want to do is go somewhere else and then come back and think, oh, I've been working out back home. Now I come back and you got to start all over
man. I'm
again,
telling
bro.
y'all, man. Like,
Yeah.
I went to a high school. It was called TJ Thomas Jefferson, and it was like one of the powerhouses in Denver. And we had to do 2-a-days. We win championships every year. And I'm telling you, them 2-a-days, Trey, I made me want to quit. I wanted to quit football, man.
Yeah.
And the air was staying up there, but it's tough to play up there if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
And then you come back to Atlanta, you get to the airport, and the air will be so thick. You're like, geez, it's just so humid here compared
Humidity.
to up
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You feel the difference.
Yeah,
It's so
definitely feel the
dry out
difference,
there.
yeah.
So dry.
Well, of course, I can't speak on that from a sports perspective, but every time we went on the road, because, we come from the music business, so every time we would go and do a show in Denver, say like Bob, for instance, they used to have oxygen tanks like
Ooh.
on the side for him. Like, as soon as he come off stage, he hit the oxygen tank, like immediately, every single time. You know what I mean?